What's up, folks? Thank you for checking out the channel. Today I'm going to take a closer look at this Affinity Jazzmaster by Squier. I have to say, I've really been enjoying this guitar, and I've also been enjoying the Affinity Telecaster Deluxe I've got. I really think Squier has stepped it up with their new Affinity line. It's really nice. So what I'm going to do today is go through the specs, we'll check out some sound samples with the pickups, I'll show you what it sounds like in the mix, and then I'll give you my final thoughts on this guitar. So let's check it out. Let's take a look at the specs. It's got the Affinity Jazzmaster body, which means it's a little thinner than a regular Jazzmaster body. The material is poplar, it's a gloss finish, and this color is burgundy mist. It has one master volume control and one master tone control, and the bridge and tailpiece are the 2-point synchronized tremolo. It also has block saddles. The neck and bridge pickup are both ceramic single coil Jazzmaster pickups, and it has a 3-way toggle switch for switching between the pickups. The fretboard is made of Indian laurel. It has dot inlays, 21 medium jumbo frets, a 25.5 scale length, and a 9.5 inch radius. The nut width is 1.65 inches, and it's made of synthetic bone. And then the tuners are the sealed die-cast split shaft tuners that they're putting on the new Affinities. Take a look at the headstock real quick. See the Squier logo with the Jazzmaster that kind of wraps around. I always like that about Jazzmasters. Alright, let's flip it over and take a look at the back. You can see the comfort cut here and the trim cover, and we'll take a look at that in a minute. It has the typical Fender bolt-on neck joint. The neck's made of maple, and it's a C-shaped profile. Here you can see there's some really cool grain in the skunk stripe and in the neck. And I've read some people say that their skunk stripe was sticking out a little bit, but it's not on this one. I recently heard someone say when you see rings in a neck like this, it actually means that the neck is weaker. And that doesn't surprise me at this low price point, but I still think it looks really cool and a lot better than some of the other guitars I've seen. Alright, let's take a look at the trim system real quick. You can see that the block on this guitar is pretty thin. And if I'm going to be honest, everything back here looks to be pretty much lower end parts. But with that said, I really haven't had any issues with this trim. I don't know how long it'll last, but for now it's good. Alright, let's throw it on the scale. It weighs a little over 8 pounds. Alright, let's check out the pickup resistance. In the neck we have 6.17. That's fairly low. In the bridge we have 10.49, which is fairly hot. In the middle it's 3.95. So that's pretty interesting. Alright, let's take a look under the pick guard. There were several screws in this pick guard, so I hope it's worth it. We'll find out. Well, the first thing I notice is this dried substance in several different spots. And it's not coming off with just rubbing on it either. I was able to get it off later with a little more scrubbing, but I guess that's just some kind of cleaning or buffing compound or something. They didn't do a good job of cleaning that up. Here's a closer look at the electronics. You can see that it does have full-size pots, and there's a little bit of shielding on the pick guard, but not very much. You can check out the route. Looks decently clean. It's marked 514, whatever that means. Take the pickup covers off. People want to see what's under the pickups. It'll be real easy to put it back on. That's what I told myself before I took this pickup cover off. And it was not worth the trouble, I'll tell you that. There was really nothing about the pickups or the routes worth noting, other than the fact that putting this cover back on required me to hold 4 springs in place at the same time while trying to screw it back in there. Kind of a challenge. I wanted to take another look at this fretboard when I had the strings off and had it freshly conditioned. I think this thing looks great. I love how much the grain moves in it, and it goes top to bottom and left to right when you get to the top of the fretboard. I think it's really cool. Alright, next we're going to do the tissue test. I actually forgot to do this in the Telecaster Deluxe video and it kind of bugged me, so I'm going to make sure I do it this time. Alright, so let's just check it out and see how these frets are. Alright, we have a little bit of a drag mark here, and I know it's hard to see this in the camera. It's very, very slight though. Just one little nick in the tissue here. Alright, let's check the top side. Again, we've got one little nick here, not too bad. So I think the fretwork on this guitar is definitely acceptable, especially in this price range. I'm going through the Marshall DSL 40CR today. I haven't actually played this guitar through this amp yet, so I'm kind of excited about it. So let's check it out. Alright, I switched over to the gain channel of the Marshall and I threw some overdrive on, so let's see what that sounds like. let's check out how these pickups clean up real quick. I'm going to go full volume, and then I'll roll it off a little bit. Alright, I'm going to go through them real quick with the tone all the way off just so you can get a sense of what that sounds like. Alright, now I want to show you what this guitar can sound like in a mix. I just finished up the last section and realized I didn't play any surf songs. So we got to do something surfy. So let me see what I can come up with. Okay, so let me go over my final thoughts of this guitar. I want to say that I'm really enjoying this thing. I think the neck pickup sounds best clean, and I think the bridge pickup sounds best with gain or overdrive. But that middle position, there's something special about that. It has a really great sound. The trim actually works really well. This bridge is pretty nice. I think the 2-point trim system is a definite upgrade. I haven't had any problems with it, and I've got it completely floating. So no problems there. I haven't had any tuning issues or anything like that. It was really easy to set up. I did have to get in the back a little bit and adjust the screws before the springs, but no problems. As far as the pots go and the knobs, I think those are both really nice. I haven't had any issues with that, and I kind of like this layout with just the master volume and the master tone. The jack, I mentioned this in the unboxing, and I also mentioned it in the Telecaster Deluxe review. I don't know why these jacks are so loose, but they are. Earlier I went to play one of the sound samples, and I started strumming and nothing was coming out, and I looked down and the jack just wasn't even in there. I didn't feel it fall out or anything. It was just gone. I'm sure I stepped on the cable, but you know, I didn't even feel it jerk or anything like that. It just went straight out. The switch, I like this switch being down here. And I also like the orientation of the switch on this guitar. Didn't feel the need to turn it around, you know what I mean? Next up here, no issue with the nut at all. And the tuners, I've said it 4 times now. The ratio is not great on it. But other than that, the tuners are fine, and I like the split shaft. One thing is I did end up searching through all the drawers trying to find my little box of springs to put in this trim bar to make it to where I could leave it where I want it and move it around, you know, and it doesn't fall. And like I said in the unboxing, it's kind of annoying that they didn't include that with the guitar because you definitely need it. But you can find those on Amazon, and if I can find a link, I'll put one down in the description in case you need one. But I did add one, and I think it helped. So I think it plays great, and I think it sounds great. And I really will say, if you're looking at getting one of these, I do highly recommend it. I'm having a ton of fun with this guitar, and I don't plan on getting rid of it anytime soon. And especially at the price point, this is a great guitar. So I really do appreciate y'all watching the video. Please take a second to hit that like button if you're still here. I really appreciate it. It helps the video out. And until next time, take it easy and keep playing.